What's up, guys? This is Shola Adele. Some people call me Sola Adele. Whichever fits you is fine with me. But I'm coming to you from Houston, Texas, and I'm the author of this book right here. It's titled Stress Kills Stress. Re-engineering the human mind to live above and overcome stress. So that is my book, and couple of friends have told me that I need to put out this truths, these techniques, these nuggets on how people can deal with stress. And I thought about it. I found myself being busy and pushing things aside, but I think the time has come for me to put this out to help you, my viewer, on how you can deal with stress. I am 53 years old and I have three children. I'm a single dad. So my older brother said something. He said, if I was the one with with three kids, I would go crazy. Say, I don't know how you do it, but I don't know how you do it. If I'm the one with three kids, I'll just literally go crazy. So I have three kids. The oldest, they're young adults. The oldest one is 21. The next one is 19, and she's in college right now. Then my last daughter is will be 16 next month. So I have three of them and they live with me. So my brother told me, he said, I don't know how you do it. One job, three kids. So what happened is that their mom passed away. Though we were divorced at that time, but their mom passed away in 2022. And I was able to, the God factor is there. I was able to rely on God. And also what I know growing up, which I put everything in this book on how to deal with stress. I use that to be able to help them to be whole, to overcome the stress, to come out of the grief and live their normal life. So I was able to do that. And apart from that, every other thing that's happened to me in my life growing up, a lot of these things I put in my book. But today I want to, as my first video, I want to quickly share something with you that's going to help you before we go into other things that I'll be talking about. And I would love for you to make comments about these videos and share with other people, and questions. I would love you to ask questions. You have different situations like myself. Life is an up and down roller coaster ride. We all experience the good, the bad, and the ugly. You may live your life in a bubble now, enjoying everything, but I assure you, the bad and the ugly is going to come because it happens to everybody. Nobody is excluded. So, like I said, I was able to raise my children up to now. I'm still guiding them. You know, my son is about to, he has his own life to live, and my daughter who is in college, and I've been able to, guide them and raise them. And I tell you, they are good kids. They don't give me no problem. My son don't smoke, don't drink, don't do any of the crazy things that people experience with their kids. And what I've been able to do is what I'll be sharing today. So the first thing is loss. We all experience loss in different ways, just like we experience in this family. The mother of my children, my ex-wife, passed away in 2022. You may have someone that you may have lost a loved one, or a breakup from a relationship. Some people have girlfriend and boyfriend. When they break up, which has happened to me too. When they break up, it becomes a problem because the stress, that breakup, it becomes a loss, whereby relationship breakdown for some people is like losing a loved one. So there's a technique in my book that I shared in my book that I'm going to give you now. I'm going to tell you two things. One thing, what happens in the inside of you when you lose a loved one, or when in case there's a breakup. Some people have been in a relationship for such a long time, and the breakup affects them so much. It affects their mood, affects their appetite, it affects the way they respond. They become either withdrawn, they become aggressive, they become nervous in everything they do. It affects them negatively, and that is understandable. It happens to everybody. It happens to even animals. But what I shared in my book is also coming from what I learned from when I was growing up. You will see from animals. So I'm going to share what happens inside of you when you experience a loss and what you can do, which becomes a practice. It becomes a lifestyle for you to overcome the effects of that loss, because the effects of that loss will turn out to become stress that affects not just your mind but your body. Do you know that some people lose loved ones and they start to have either psychological, mental, or physical problems? It becomes illness. There's what is called heartbreak syndrome. If you know that is in the medical knowledge. So this is what happens when loss happens. One loss happens to you, either loss of a loved one or breakup in a relationship. Your mind registers that breakup. Your mind registers that loss, that breakup as a loss. So it is registered as a loss. So this is what happened. We all have thoughts. Anytime you think of that person you have lost, your mind, because your mind has categorized that event as a loss, your brain sends signals to your heart. Those signals is sent to your heart because it's a loss. Doctors and scientists will tell you that cortisons are released from your brain into your system. So when these signals go to your heart rate increases. That's why when you remember someone that you lost, or when you remember someone you broke up from, that you all were really good together, your heart starts to race. When your heart starts to race, you don't feel good. Have you been in any situation where maybe danger is coming? Your heart starts to race. And it's not good because your human body cannot sustain the increase of the heart rate. So when that happens, you don't feel good. Some people, for me in the past, I've experienced where when I remember somebody that, maybe I broke up with or something, it's like my heart stopped beating or something like that, I don't know if you have experienced that. But because that event was registered as a loss in your mind, your brain, anytime you think of that person, your brain, because it's registered as a loss, your brain send a signal to your heart. And either cortisons or what's the other? Adrenaline. Cortisone or adrenaline or some other hormones are released into your bloodstream that increases your heart rate and increases your breathing, the amount of times you breathe, and it's not a good feeling at all. People always feel bad about such things. So this is what you do in those situations. I shared it in my book. Because your mind has registered that event as a loss, your brain sends signals to your heart. It's just like when you're in a dangerous situation, your heart starts to beat fast. It's like you want to run, flight or fight situation. So this is what you do to correct and to be able to endure and live and strive above that event in your life, because everybody is expected to live a life free of stress. Do you know that 85% of medical condition that affects people in the world right now is caused by one form of stress or the other? So this is the practice I want you to do. Anytime you think of that event, that person you lost, or that person you broke up from, I want you to take 3 deep breaths from your nose. After doing that, you can, maybe you're busy when the thought came into your mind. Maybe you're busy or doing whatever. Stop what you're doing. Sit in a quiet place where nobody is distracting you or whatever. Sit in a quiet place. Take those 3 deep breaths. After you take those 3 deep breaths, I want you to now zero in on that person that you lost. Zero in on that person in your mind, in your thoughts. Zero in on that person. And for like maybe 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes at most, or even 5 minutes. When you zero in on that person, continue thinking on only that person. You know what is going to happen inside of you? Just like psychotherapists, therapists will tell you, take deep breaths. You hear people always saying, take deep breath. Deep breath, 3 deep breaths, what it does in your system is that it resets your breathing. It resets your breathing so you start to breathe normally. So when you zero in and start thinking of that person, thinking about that person, after taking those 3 deep breaths, before you know it, your breathing will now start to normalize. Your heart rate will start to calm down. Your oxygen demand from your system start to come to the normal level. When you do that for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, once everything comes to the normal level, you know what happens inside of you? Your mind now tells your brain that that event is no longer categorized as a loss. That event, that person, your girlfriend that you love so much, broke up from you, whatever, boyfriend broke up from you, whatever, your mind now start to register that event, that person, that loss that happened. Maybe your brother, father, mother, anybody that passed away. Your mind start to register that event as no longer a loss, but an occurrence in your life. Your mind registered that event as an occurrence, like a date that something happened. Is no longer registered as a loss. Stay in that position for as long as you can. Once you start seeing, once you start noticing that you are thinking about that person and your heart rate has come down and your breathing has come down, stay as long as you want. Maybe you start to notice that in the 3 minutes of thinking about that person. Then stay in that situation for a little bit longer. Then you can stop and continue with your life. After you have done that, because of the way our mind works, when you read the book, it will tell you the mind is the most amazing thing on this earth. The greatest creation that God has ever produced on this earth is the human mind. That is why even God has to convince us before we decide, So this is how you deal with loss. And that has to do with, let me see, a part of my book that is called, a subtitle in one of the chapters that is called The Practice of Cutting Loose. The Practice of Cutting Loose. You hear some people when they lose loved one, they will tell them, let them go. Let them go. There are 5 steps of grief. The last step of grief, like I put in my book, is the step that is called acceptance. A lot of people are not able to get to that step of acceptance. Acceptance is that place where you now accept the fact that this person is gone out of your life, but you will live on. You will live, you will strive, you will succeed, you will make something good out of your own life. So this practice I've just given you now, I want you to do it. But it's not a one-off practice. It's something you have to do several times because your mind is used to registering that person, that event as a loss. So once your mind, it is your mind you use to, remember and recall things. Then once it hits your mind, it sends a signal to your brain. Then your brain sends a signal to your heart, back to your heart. And heart rate, oxygen demand. Some people even have panic attacks. So once all those things happens, it's a really bad experience. If you're not careful, it has affected people, their health. It's even made some people, kind of like give up on life, and they just want to put an end to it. But I come to you with this truth. I need you to check out my book. It's on Amazon. Stress kill stress. You see the name there. Stress kill stress. And I want you to join me on my next video where I'll be sharing deeper things. This is deep, but there are deeper things I will share with you on how to live your life stress free. After my ex-wife passed away, my kids were stressed out and all that. And before I say that, I'm in the medical field. I'm an EMT, emergency medical technician, and also a minister. And also I do a lot of things, but I'll tell you more about myself. But after my ex-wife passed away, my kids were distraught. But you can imagine, within 2 years, my kids were faring greater than they could ever be. My daughter right now, her grades became so good, she got about 6 academic scholarships, 6 academics awards when she graduated high school. And from getting that 6 academic awards, she was admitted in one of the prestigious schools up in the North, Massachusetts, to study with full ride scholarship. So how she was able to do that, how I am able to do that, nurture them, bring them together, speak to them. I believe God made me write the book to help my family first. My last daughter also is doing great in school. My son is doing great. He didn't lose his head. He didn't go, crazy because he lost his mom. But they're all doing great, and I'm doing great myself. As you see me, I'm doing great. I don't look bad. So, so until I come your way again, live your life stress free. This is Shola Dele. I'll see you next time. Bye.